Oh, I just finished up the barn in Ontario. We were in Ontario today, going with the babies. Very happy with them. Amy and I have done a video for you guys in regards to the 2-year-olds today. I wanted to run through the race horses. Now we do have 9 horses in the sale on Monday. How many of them will sell? I never know. I know some of them will sell for sure. Because they're selling without any reserve at all. There are some horses, obviously, that have reserves that are doing well for us, and we're not giving away all gas, no brakes. Stay close, and most certainly not think of Galaxies, but we will sell them if the price is right, so to speak. We'll see how that plays out. And you know, I've been fielding tons of emails over the last few days, just asking for clarification as to why these horses might be sold. And without there's no physical reason why any of them be sold. None of those 3 horses have any issues. Just when it comes to the stable, we have to keep moving forward all the time. And it may not, the path that I'm trying to steer us onto may not always be obvious for everybody, but I'm happy to talk to all of you about that path whenever you like. So please drop me a line, pick up the phone and call me, email me. I'm always around, and I'm always very open to and happy to talk to you about what we're doing and why we're doing it. So with that, I want to talk about the race horses right now, the aged horses, the horses that have turned 4 now and above. Absolute Euphoria, the stable has actually come to an agreement with the original breeders. Are very good friends of ours. Kyle Gray, Brent and Kyle are very good friends of ours. And although I don't know Mr. York very well, I don't know him that well. Still a client of ours, and they had bred Absolute Euphoria. And I had reached out to Brent and said, hey, we have a ton of horses coming back, and we need stalls. And when it comes to this particular mare, nice mare, you've expressed interest in getting her back, and now might be an opportune time for you to do so. So we came to an agreement. Brent and Kyle have bought back, I believe, Absolute Euphoria, and she will be headed to, I believe, Steve Carter's barn, if I'm not mistaken. She was a good mare, a good filly for us, and she's going to be a good mare for them. Ultimately, the end game for them is to breed her, which, nice mare. Would definitely be on the lookout for any foals that have Absolute Euphoria. I think she's going to be a good 4-year-old. I hope they choose to race her at 4 and breed her at 5, because I think she's got a lot to offer as a 4-year-old in racing. Brace for Landing, it needs to come back. Now, we did have a week pushback because of the stall situation. It precipitated us putting horses up for sale on Preferred. It had played a big role in that, moving some horses around. Some horses came home, out of the field and home now, ready. Really Don't Care and Yo Mister actually at Harry's barn training down. Yo Mister is more than likely going to head back to Southern Ohio with Stacy when he starts his 2024 campaign up. But training down here because I just thought, to train him down on a half, when he got around the half that one time or 2 times or whatever, but for the most part he's a bigger track horse, and having him here to train down on a 5/8 and then qualify and whatnot at Mohawk makes more sense. So he's here. We did have to wait a week to bring some horses back in, so Brace for Landing's like 3 weeks late to come back in from what I originally wanted him back in. We changed after a month. Jacob said he was putting weight on, but he'd like to put more on him. I said, okay, we'll leave him there another week. And then 1 week turned into 2, and then we had to push because of the stall situation. But he will be coming back in next week. Trust me. Carter Michael Dio made the break the other day. A lot went into that break, and I think he's right on the precipice of turning a page and becoming a really, really nice horse. He's there now. I believe some changes need to be made. I talked to Tim extensively about some shoeing and some equipment. We'll get right into that this week with Carter for sure. What next? Carter Michael, the collector, raced good the other day. Hobbles looked a little tight, and I would like to have him at least in the same area code at the head of the lane. That'd be cool. But he's obviously knocking on the door of a win. Chris is being pretty careful with him, but as I said, we bought him to watch him, but we'd like to see him win too if he can. I'd like to see Collector get to the winner's circle this week. Would be nice. Commando Tom gone. This guy just, I have little time for horses that don't want to put. I will stick up. You've seen me do it. Stick up for horses that are trying hard but just not getting it done. I'll give them all the rope we can give them and all the latitude we can give them. But the other side of that coin are the ones that don't want to put out and the ones that don't want to play a role. I got no time for those horses. And Commando Tom, just a horse. He's going to be a racehorse for somebody. He's going to never, no lameness issues whatsoever. If you're out there watching this and you're like, yeah, I see Commando Tom, what's the scoop? Here, I'll give you the complete scoop on him. Beautiful gait. We raced him in an open bridle. I had a hood with cups on him the other day, but he's been racing in an open bridle, line pole left, Murphy blind right, low head, earplugs, no boots up front, trotting boots behind, hobbles loose, probably doesn't even really need them, but again, it just seems to be a bit of an underachiever. 58 to 2-1, I think, is where he'd be super comfortable, and that's just not going to cut it for us. And the part that I don't like is the just kind of go out and do his work, right? I want to see horses go out and put in the extra effort. Where are we at now? Crantini raced okay the other day, a little flat. Tim thought his feet were hurting him a little bit. We're going to make a slight shoeing change on him up front. My only takeaway from that was if his feet are hurting him, why wasn't he a little more wild? Why wasn't he a little more ornery? Because he was as good as I've ever seen him, mechanically speaking, going up to the gate in the warm-up, in the post parade. You know, when they said go, everything was perfect. He just didn't really have a ton of pop to him. And I told you guys last week, a lot can go into what I just said, right? Maybe he is a little bit sore. Maybe he did bleed a little bit or a little bit of mucus, which he didn't, but I'm just saying. A couple of trickles, I think, of blood. But I think that's part and parcel to what went on beforehand. The feet are bothering him. Yes, I could see that playing a role. But the reason when I say that, usually when their feet bother them, their stress level goes up. I didn't find him that stressed the other day. I thought he was actually good. So could be that liver still bothering him quite a bit. We'll see. We'll see how he is. He's going to skip a week. I told him, let's get that liver count under control, and then we'll go from there. So I think we'll skip a week, work hard on his liver, change those shoes, work hard on his feet, and then put him back in to go, and then reassess after that. But no complaints here. I think Crantini mentally is finally putting it together. Enzo Guayo was in on Monday. Again, both him and Crantini were good last week, not as good this week, and those were the two liver count horses. So maybe his played a role too. I told everybody kind of jokingly, but not really, when he is like hot and crazy and really frustrating to race, that's when he's really good. When he's kind of docile and polite, a little flat. And that's how he was the other day. If you're out there again and watching this and saying, hey, what's the scoop in Enzo? Enzo's a nice horse. Enzo should bring 14, 15, 16,000. No lameness issues at all. Does his work well right now. When he's frustrating and annoying, that's when he's really good. He's a 58 trotter right now that could be a 55, 56 trotter all spring and summer long. He's a useful horse. Get off the gate good, follows well, doesn't really make that many mistakes. He's actually turned into a decent horse to drive. Fish is now broodmare. Halakai is in the sale. Just run into a bit of a buzzsaw with some of those classes, and I think it was inevitable. She did well for us. She did well for everybody, I think, in her life, and I don't see why that won't continue on in her racing career with any sort of new ownership dynamic. She's a nice filly. Does her work well, and I like her. Irish Ray, I think we'll probably qualify Ray, I guess, this week. He needs to do more if he's going to be competitive in the fields he's going to have to race in. So, I don't know. We'll see how Ray does this week. We'll probably qualify him and then reassess. He's put on a little bit of weight. I like what I've seen from the horse. He's put on a little bit of weight, but he does need to do more if he wants to be effective. That's for sure. Kenobi is in to go Wednesday night. Now, a couple of people said, Anthony, we paid like $55,000 for Kenobi, and he's in for 37. Well, he didn't race very good his last start. He raced okay the start before that. I'm not really worried on somebody saying, you know what we should do? We should go claim that horse that they gave a lot of money for that didn't race good his last start. That's what we should do. I don't think so. I don't think anybody's jumping in to grab Kenobi. I think we're safe. And I don't have a problem with Kenobi. In fact, I'm glad he raced as bad as he did last week, because it would have been much more difficult to put him in that class had he not have. I'm not concerned about him being claimed. I think we're going to do just fine with Kenobi on Wednesday. My only problem with Kenobi is he took Walter's keepsake spot. They had 3 classes of that race usually 2 for sure every week. It never dawned on me, and I know it never dawned on Jason, that they would only go with 1 division. That's a little problematic. Walter's going to have to miss a week now. I was tempted to put him in at Mohawk, and I'm like, easy now. He's coming out of an Elmhurst 2 condition claimer. Mohawk's not the place for him. There's not really anything financially. The claiming price at the PA is a lot less at the Meadows. I don't really want to stuff him in there either. So I think, well, I guess we'll just wait the week for Walter and put that up here. Next time we enter 2 horses in that class during the winter, call to make sure that they're going to split the class. And if they're not, if they weren't going to split the class, I would have left Kenobi out another week, sent him to New York, said we're going to work on his liver, and that would be that. Instead, we got a horse with a liver coming down. It's not 100%. It's coming down, racing, instead of a horse that's coming off a win and sharp as attack. So not really a perfect scenario for us. Park Slope is going to be sent to be a brood mare. Actually, I got to take care of that today. Damn it, Jacob is in that area. I'll get Jacob to figure that out today. Spitfire Overseas drew the 9-hole. This is getting a little frustrating in Southern Ohio, eh? 9-hole, tough race. It's feel like strangers racing there for sure. The 9-hole is not a spot to race this horse from. The Stay Special qualified good the other day. Now James said just put her in to go, which I was a little surprised, but he said no, she was loaded. Just gotta do a little vet work on her and put her in to go. So I suspect that's what's going to take place next week. Steel Cowboy was training today. I didn't get an update. He's at least a month from racing, so I wasn't too concerned. I'm sure I'll get a note from Jason Merriman or Jason McGinnis later this afternoon about how they went today. Tactical Mounts is probably going to come out of the field, I guess, end of January. We'll bring her back in. Tech Song Soprano races Sunday night. Off 2 weeks, so he's going to be a little bit short. I didn't want to drill him hard before the race. He's going to be a tiny bit short, but he is in a good spot. So we'll see how that is. He'll be going to Yonkers soon also. We did originally buy him for Yonkers, and I know Scotty and I talked about it the other day. Some good classes there for him also. So he'll head to Yonkers likely after the start, which again frees up a stall for us in Northfield. Wallop is back going now, jogging today. I was happy with Wallop. He'll be probably 3 weeks getting that guy ready. He did put on some weight, so I was happy with that. Walter's Keepsake, again, raced great last week. I was so frustrated he didn't get in. I just did not see that happening. Live and learn. You gotta be on your toes all the time. So interested to see how Walter's Keepsake does with a week off. But I was very happy with his race the other day. Warwi Yuri is in the sale Monday. That's pretty self-explanatory, right? Why he's in the sale. He just didn't look good the other night. Third, very weak third. But again, full brother to Warwi Roo. Never been lame, never been sore. Has a nice gait. Should be better than this. Probably going to make somebody happy. Going to Saratoga or one of those places. I think he'd do very, very well. And Warwi Yuri just... It bothers me a lot because obviously I went to bat for this horse for quite a while. When it came to Warwi Yuri about, we'll give him time, he'll come. I said it when he was 2. Just wait till he's 3, maybe even 4. He'll come forward. Just the desire just never popped up, right? He did get better physically, mentally. He was always good, but the desire just never emerged. What do we got next? What a Mission. I'm not going to qualify him this week. I told you guys that. Mentally, he just needs a little reset. Just a week off. I jogged beside him yesterday. Jason was jogging him. He looked great. But he does need a little bit of a mental reset, this guy. All Gas, No Brakes is in the sale Monday. There will be a protection of some sort on him. Listen, he's a 55 claimer. The class didn't fill 2 weeks. Doesn't mean it's not going to fill next week. And he could go in a condition race, waiting for that race to fill. It's not like there's not spots for him, but I believe we probably should get, I would think, thereabouts of 55 Canadian, which is what, 42 American, I would imagine. He looks great in there today. Like I said to Dominic, I said, he doesn't sell, no big deal. Sales over Monday. Take him over, train him at Mohawk in 58 on Tuesday. He's tight for next week. Away you go. Greatest Ending drew inside again. Baby steps with this guy. I think we did, obviously, it felt definitely a step forward from that horrible mile he went in 2 minutes, but I felt from his first start to the other day, excluding the race where he tied up, not quite as good. We went back to the shoes that we had on him for Sunday night again, so I'm waiting for him to just come forward. We'll see how he does on Sunday night. Oh my goodness. JK Victory's out in the field. I'll bring him back in a little bit. Looks Like Money. I'm 10 minutes from being able to give you a definitive update on Looks Like Money. I suspect he's been around 210. I'll talk to Harry today about him. Renegade Gypsy raced good again in Ohio. He's okay. I cut some flack. I still catch some flack over selling this horse, and I don't regret selling Renegade Gypsy. So if you're out there and you're saying, Anthony, I can't believe you sell this, is bullshit. Excuse my language. You guys have to understand. I say this all the time, but I want everybody to understand, and maybe this is a proper point to do it, was when we were on Renegade Gypsy. You have no idea what it's like to deal with 900 clients and over 100 horses and make decisions that can affect every one of those people in a different way. All I can do is the best I can. I keep saying it all the time, and a lot of people saying, oh, Anthony, it's too bad that you're catching flack over this. I don't mind. It's my job. But I want everybody to understand, just because you believe something doesn't mean that everyone else, all your other partners, do also. And I have to make a decision that I feel is right for the horse and everybody involved. And of course, not everybody is going to agree with that, but I would encourage everybody to maybe do your best to take a little stroll, a little walk in my shoes sometimes before we get too upset about decisions made. Resolute Bay will race next week at the Meadows. They saw me look good in his stall. I think this reset will really help this horse. There's no physical reason that he's making breaks and getting out of gear. We're going to take our time to get this guy back on track right now, because I think he's I think I can say it comfortably in my own head anyway and out loud. If, historically speaking, if he comes back to the end of his 3-year-old season, not his 4-year-old season, because it was a bit of a wash, but the end of his 3-year-old season, he's a better horse than Stay Close. He's a better horse than a lot of our trotters. Possesses a ton of speed. He's a very durable animal, and he loves to win. So in that regard, I don't have to compare any of those horses. They all fit under that umbrella, the ones that we have right now. But this horse has not put it all together in 2023, and I want to get him put back together for 2024. I think that he's got a bright future. I think he's going to do us some good, and I think it starts this week in Pennsylvania. Serious Dragon is back going now. Green light for him, so he's full-time. There was a little bit of a week and a half, 10 days lag, where Harry just didn't want to start him back until the vet said, hey, go ahead. As soon as Dr. McKee said he looks fine, he's back jogging now, and by all accounts, I'm sure he looks fine. 3 Point Blue Chip has got to be getting close to the races, I guess. Now, he has... I sent everybody that video. I sent it to Kelly, and she sent it to you. He trained in 2.9 in the jog car. That was like 2.5, 3 weeks ago. So I suspect he's getting much closer. Unbeatable Kemp will be in this week at the Meadows. I guess that will also depend. Where we race him will depend on Stay Close, if he sells or not. I can't imagine there won't be a lot of interest in Stay Close after the way he raced yesterday. He's such a nice horse, and it's hard to move him. But when we do have other horses coming back, rather than say, hey, I'm going to send Stay Close or Unbeatable Kemp back to Ontario, I'm going to send Kings County back to Southern Ohio. Maybe I'll send him to Ontario. I need to look at who's the right horse for each class everywhere. And a lot goes into this decision. It wasn't just like I wrote 3 names down, put them in a hat and said, oh, there, we're going to sell Stay Close. A lot went into that decision. And again, if that needs to be expanded upon, feel free to... What do we need?
Did you get the Christmas bag?
Which Christmas bag?
The bits in it?
Yeah, I got a paper. If you need expanded on that, just drop me a line. I'll be happy to talk. Yo Mister is going to be in Harry's barn tomorrow, I believe, if he's not on his way right now. He'll train back. He'll be ready probably end of February, I guess. Good as him, qualified well. We're going back with one more qualifier with him. He looked great yesterday. Locatelli has been racing, coming back around. We knew hopefully he would, and he did. We'll see how he is on Monday. No free lunch. I gotta talk to Stacy and get an update on him. I suspect with the cooler weather that the track is firmed up now. He should be, I would think, qualifying this week. I would hope. Very, very close to doing so. Think of Galaxies. I told everybody I don't really want to talk about it too much. I'm very torn on whether we sell her or not. Very useful horse and impossible to replace. It would take a seller's price for sure to wrestle her away from us. I almost didn't put her in the sale, but we'll see. And again, tonight we'll drive that bus a little bit also. She's first or second favorite in the Open at Northfield. Let's see how she does tonight. Oakwood Cowboy, I was told today he trained well in 2:15, so he's getting close, much better. He may just need some time off, this horse. We'll see how he is moving forward from today. Stay Close raced fantastic again the other day, just picked off the wire. He is in the sale on Monday. We'll see how that plays out. Kings County qualified good. I think Kings County can go over to maybe Pennsylvania. You can't stay at Northfield. He's not going to race at Northfield, so it will either be the Meadows or it will be Southern Ohio. I'm not sure which one yet for Kings County. Where are we at now? White Tiger is in here Monday. Hopefully we can get him in a consistent class where he doesn't have to race against Locatelli or one of our other horses. I'd just like to see our horses not race against each other if it was possible. Delicious Stone DK, I am toying with the idea of bringing him over here to Ontario to race Thursday. Horses that raced for a purse of $9,000 or less, or $12,000 or less, or whatever it is on Thursday. Might be a good fit for him. We'll see. I'm going to do a little more deliberating on that, and then we'll go from there. Miss Rocket Ali will race this week in Ohio. She qualified very good again. Jason was happy with her. And Patrick DePrana will be back at it next Friday, also in Pennsylvania. He should be ready to go there. No problem. He just gave him a week off. I talked to everybody about this. He showed a little bit of blood, a little bit of mucus. I drove him like an idiot. He just needed a week. He got it. He'll be back at it next week in Pennsylvania. Those are your racehorses. Amy and I are going to talk about the sets from today in just a minute, but all your racehorses are done now. Take care.